Alright, let's get started. So there's not just 10 minutes of silence because this game ain't got no music. Well, it does sort of. Whoop, here we are. Alright, so the Oregon Trail. I used to play this game a lot when I was in elementary school in the computer lab. This is the same version that I had when I was there. Welcome, Nocturne here. I'll get into the picture that's above my head in a second. Yep. Well, almost. I'll get into that. Now that I look at it, the chat might be hard to read, but that's alright. The picture above me, those are the people that are going to be in our wagon party. But first, let's learn about the trail. Why not? Okay, so we're going to try taking a journey by covered wagon across 2,000 miles of plains, rivers, and mountains. And they reassure us to try. Just try, because you might not make it. Slush the oxen through mud, dust, shit, all kinds of stuff. Okay, we got rivers that we got to cross, which we're always going to take the ferry if that's an option. We got supplies. You might hit a buffalo, maybe. And of course, there's bear. If you cook it right, it tastes actually good. Yeah, we're not doing that. Fuck that shit. We're going to take the toll road, hopefully, if I got the cash for it. Yeah, don't worry. If you die, you can just try again here. You've got unlimited chances to make it to Oregon. Yeah, it's really weird, the random numbers that they roll for you to try to get through the river. Okay, we'll keep the sound on, what sporadic sound there is. We won't need to escape. Okay, don't care. Okay, so we're going to travel the trail. So, well, we got three choices. Banker from Boston, carpenter from Ohio, or farmer from Illinois. That doesn't matter. You always start out at the same place. But there is a difference, so let's check it out. So yeah, basically, this is a difficulty setting. Kind of. I'll get more into that later. Basically, if you're a banker, you got the most cash, but you don't get a points multiplier at the end of the game if you make it. So if you're a farmer, you get like no money at all. You've really got to scrape and scrounge to survive, but they triple your points, so that's kind of good. But we're going to be a banker, because I like playing games on easy baby mode. And first name of the wagon leader, of course, that's me. And I'm in that picture right up there at the top. Also in the wagon, standing next to me is Celine. It's the little woman, as you can plainly see. Under her is Jack, our kid. Down in the corner there, on the left-hand side, is a friend of the family. That's Johnny. And on the right-hand side is just some guy we picked up because we needed 5 people. And that would be Larry. Yes, they are. Okay, so let's ask for advice on when to leave, because there is a reason for this. So, if we leave too early, it'll be tough for the oxen. And if we leave too late, we'll be in the middle of winter before we get there. and then the game just becomes a total nightmare when you try to play it in the winter. So I like to leave in April. Okay, so being a banker, we have 1,600, which in money back then is probably like several million. Yeah, it's crazy, especially if you take into account that this game takes place in the 1800s. So you'd be like Elon Musk or something of the hooded wagon crowd. Yeah, we can go to the general store, buy some shit. See, they won't even let you do that. There are limits as to how much you can carry for your stuff. So basically, we need a team of oxen, we need clothing. Can't run around naked. We need food. Ammo, we don't need that much. I'll get into why later. And then we definitely need spare parts. So, we'll start with the oxen. And he gives you a recommendation on what you should have. I'm going to go with his recommendation. So we're going to get 3 yoke. That'll give us 6 oxen, which will definitely cover us. Okay, so food. Okay, so 200 pounds for each person. There's 5 of us. We're just going to go with the full amount. 2,000 pounds of food. We can't carry any more than that. Clothing. So 2 sets of clothing per person. So it's going to be 10 sets of clothes. Okay, ammunition. Give me 1 second. I need to take care of something. There we go. I'm using my phone as a second screen to keep track of the stream, so I just had to put it on mute so no notifications get through. So, hunting. If you're a farmer or the second one, then you're going to need to go hunting a lot, so you're going to need a lot of bullets. I'm just going to get 2 boxes. Because I'm probably going to I might do some hunting to show it off, but if I play my cards right, I won't need to do it at all. And then for spare parts, the most we can carry is 3 of each. So we're going to get 3 wheels, 3 axles, and the tongue is the part of the wagon that attaches the oxen to it, if anybody didn't know. I actually had to look that up. Okay. So we haven't even spent half of our money, so we're good. And we're going to leave. Yes, we do. Hopefully we all survive. Or at least one of us does, because you only need one person to make it in order to win. Yep, there's them sweet PC speaker jams. Of all your favorite public domain songs they didn't have to pay a license for. Okay, that was fun. Okay, let's look at the map so we can see where we gotta go. Okay, so we're down there where that star is. And we got to get to that other star in the upper left-hand corner. So we got all that mileage we got to cover. Yep, Oregon City, Oregon. Although technically you're going to the Willamette Valley, which is a real place. But it's Oregon City in the Willamette Valley. They might. Who knows? I mean, they've re-released the game often enough that there's current versions of it. I don't know how current, but I know there's versions hell of a lot more recent than this one. Okay, let's talk to some people before we set out. Okay, so some rando comes up and tells us some folks seem to think that 2 oxen are enough to get them to Oregon, but that's not good. That's why you're pretty much told you should grab 6, because it's a lot easier in case one of them gets killed or something like that, because that can happen. One time I was playing the game and all of my oxen were stolen at the same time, so I was stuck. I had to hit the trade with people button over and over again until I could find someone who would trade me an oxen for something that I had. It took about 10 minutes for that to happen. So yeah, definitely buy the number of oxen that they recommend. And we can talk to each place you go to, you can talk to 3 people. So let's try again, see what we get. Okay, Trader Jim tells us to bring extra clothing because at some places there'll be an Indian guide or Native American guide, if we want to talk with the parlance that the kids use today. And they will take clothing as trade, but I'll stick with the amount I have. Actually, no, you know what? Let's get some extra sets of clothing, some spares. There you go. 1 extra set of clothing for everybody. Okay, let's talk to one last person. Okay, we got someone who has a full name, Miles Hendrix. And basically, he's saying that if you go without buying spare parts, you're a fool. Because if you get stuck, you are not moving from that spot, and time will still pass. Okay, we're going to check out the pace. So, there's 3 different paces. Let's find out what they mean. So, steady is 8 hours a day. It's the slowest amount you can go. But it does affect your health if you go too long at too hard of a pace. So, strenuous is that you travel for 12 hours. And then grueling is you cover the most distance, but you will absolutely start losing your health, and people will start getting sick if you do that for too long. So we're going to start at a strenuous pace. And we're going to go to the food rations, because we have 2,000 pounds of food. That doesn't last forever. So we got filling, meager, and bare bones. Basically, this affects how many pounds of food per person per day they eat. Filling is like 5 pounds per person per day. Meager is like 3, and then bare bones is like 1 or 2. So we're going to start off with meager, just to get that food budget going. That might be in the more recent versions, but this version of the game was like the second version to come out. This is on an IBM DOS computer. So basically, if I were to go back any further than this, the game would be all text. So I don't think they have those buffs to the different types of people you can be in this version of the game. Okay, let's start our journey. Okay, so here's your main screen. This is the thing you're going to be looking at for most of the time. And let's get it going. So, this is basically what you see. You see them walking, and stuff happens randomly. Okay, so we already covered 102 miles. Was that 9,000, 1,900 and something to go? Yeah, let's look around and get more of that PC speaker goodness. That would be interesting to see them do that. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, now that we're in a new place, let's meet the locals, see what they have to say. Okay, so some guy comes up to you and says they're going to caulk the boat, or the wagon, to make it into a boat. So basically, that's what they do. You gotta use pitch to coat the wagon to make sure. Yeah, no, that's not the worst choice to make. The worst choice to make is you just go straight through the river without doing anything. But yeah, that all depends on how high the river is, whether you succeed or not. And the higher the river, the less of a chance you have of succeeding with that. Okay, let's talk to another person. Yeah, fording the river. That's the worst desperate option, because you just take your oxen and go straight across. And like it says, if the river is deeper than 2.5 feet, you will definitely lose stuff and perhaps lose people as well, because you're going to get flooded. But we're a rich banker from Boston, so we can afford to take the ferry. And let's talk to one last person. Oh, is this my Aunt Rebecca? Or is just Aunt Rebecca in general? So that's one thing too. If you're going to take the ferry, you will have to wait a few days in order for your turn to come up, because this is 1848. You don't zip right across the river in a single setting here. Okay. And since we're at a river crossing, there's no shop, so we're just going to continue on going. Our health is still good and the weather's still cool, so let's go. Now here's the river. 637 feet across and 6 feet deep in the middle. But let's get more information. Yep, so ford the river just means you drive straight through the river at the shallowest part. That is not recommended. And then that's caulking the wagon, so you can float it across like a boat. That's a slightly better option. Oh yeah, 6 feet, you're not making it. You're definitely going to lose a lot of stuff, and potentially a couple people as well. And then ferry, obviously, you're getting on a raft. The whole wagon and everybody gets on a raft, and it goes across the river. You can also wait to see if the river gets shallower, because the depth of the river does fluctuate. But there's no point in doing that. It never gets... If it's at 6 foot, it's never going to get shallow enough for us to ford it. So we're going to take the ferry. Yep, $5 and wait 6 days, so that's fine. So we're still in April, and there we go. I don't think you can ever fail when you take the ferry across. I think that's a guaranteed safe crossing. Okay, so now we got 82 miles to go. We got 1,900 pounds of food, and we've traveled 103 miles already. So let's go. And we've already We've already gone the wrong way and lost 4 more days. And this is where it's going to start. Basically, I picture of it as every time you move, yeah, look, get a load of this shit. I picture that every time the oxen moves, the computer rolls a dice, and then basically it's, hey, it landed on this, so a fire happened, or it landed on that, you took the wrong trail, or it landed on this, nothing happens. So we lost 11 sets of clothing out of the 15 we bought. We don't even have enough to cover everybody. We lost 12 bullets, that's okay. We lost all of our wagon tongues, and we basically lost all of our food. Yeah, we lost almost all of our food in one shot. Well, we made it to the river. Let's have a look around. Yeah, don't let that picture fool you. Do not ford the river. They try to trick you. Alright, let's talk to some people. So, some lady named Marnie Stewart tells us that the prairie is pretty, but there's no town nearby. So she's kind of upset about that. Which, hey, I don't blame her. It's 1848. I mean, I wouldn't want to be stuck in a wagon going across this thing, too. The real reason you're going to Oregon is because there's a lot of fertile farmland out there. And that's the whole reason why a lot of people are making the trip. I don't think this is gold rush time yet, but that would be more for California, not Oregon. So I'm pretty sure that they're going there because there's a lot of fertile farmland to make ranches on and stuff. Let's talk to someone else. Yes, the 1848 person, Big Louie. What does he have to say? And he basically tells you that if you go at a grueling pace for too long, you tire the oxen out, and basically, as he says, a lame ox is about as good to you as a dead one. This is back in the era where if a horse broke its leg, they would just shoot it and leave it there. So that tells you all you need to know about that. Okay, let's talk to our last person. Okay, so this guy has had enough of this shit, and he's packing up his wagon and heading back home. There's flies and mosquitoes, hot weather, mud, worried over Native American attacks, which haven't happened, but he's still worried about it. Which, that was a concern at that time, you know, since we stole their land and all. You can imagine they would be kind of upset with us walking all over it. Anyway, let's continue on. Ooh, the exact height that they told us that it was safe to ford. And it's only 231 feet across. And there's no ferry either. No, I'm not going to ford the river. I am never going to ford the river. I would rather take my chances caulking the wagon and floating it across. Here we go. And made it. Yeah, if nothing happens halfway through, you're good. It's not going to get to, like, almost to the other bank and then all of a sudden something happens. Okay, good. There's a fort coming up. That means we can get food. Yeah, it does. It does happen kind of suddenly. In this version of the game, there's like a little crash noise too that happens. We're gonna stop for a second. We are going to change our food rations until we get to the place. We're going to switch to bare bones for a moment. Oh, kid's exhausted already. We didn't even move yet. You can see our health has dropped down to fair already. Okay, but we made it. So we can get more food at least. And rest. Because resting is how you get your health back. Let's take a look around. In the very original version of this game, these pictures were all black and white. That's enough of that. Buy supplies. We're doing that first. So now you see the food has... everything's increased in price quite a bit. No, actually first, let me look, because there's a lot of stuff I got to buy actually to take up what I lost in that fire. Let's see. Yeah, 4 sets of clothing. One of my party members doesn't even have clothes on. And wagon tongues. Okay, that's what was destroyed. Alright. So we need to get 11 sets of clothing. And I'll figure the food out on my own. And 3 more wagon tongues. Okay. Let's get buying. So clothing. 11 sets. 6, the wagon tongues. 3 of those. And for the food, let's see if that'll cover it. Okay. And we got $200 left. Hooray. If nothing major happens, that should be enough to get me through the rest of the game. We're going to leave. Let's talk to some people. Oh, Big Louie's back. And he talks about the river valley that we're going to be passing through. Antelope? The hell? The rare American antelope. I don't recall that being a thing, but okay. So it's basically we're going on a road that everybody goes on. He's saying this should be the easy part of the trip. You know, provided my wagon doesn't burst into flames again or something like that. Talk to someone else. Okay, so this guy clues you in on a big mechanic of the game. If you do hunting, you can only carry about like 200 pounds of food back to your wagon. So if you overshoot stuff, you're going to be wasting a lot of bullets on stuff that you can't carry back to the wagon. So that's why it's very important to conserve your shots when you hunt and make sure you're going after big targets like deer, buffalo, and bear. Don't bother going after rabbits and squirrels because that's a waste. It's a waste of a bullet. And last, Fort Soldier. And basically this fort was built just for people to pass through the trail. Well, that was nice of them. Okay, now that we have food again, we're going to change the food rations back to meager. And since our health, actually, what we're going to do, we're going to put it on filling. and we're gonna rest for a few days, so Jack doesn't get too much more exhausted. Do 5 days. Okay, our health is still fair, but I think we can keep going. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the ass. Okay, 250 miles to the next landmark. Let's go. Okay, now we're getting into plains area. So we're just gonna be running into probably stuff where it's gonna start saying the water's bad or inadequate grass, stuff like that. But looks like we're gonna make it. Okay, good. We found an abandoned wagon with free bullets, 63 of them. Okay, let's take a look around Chimney Rock. More public domain music, so we don't have to pay a licensing fee. Okay, let's talk. I'm gonna grab something to drink. Give me 1 second. Aha, here I am. Okay, we're going to talk to some people. Okay, here's Aunt Rebecca Sims again. Talking about people running out of food. That almost happened. Starving to death or other things might happen. There's a certain party that I think happened around this time that people might know about. I think that might have happened around this time. I don't know. So that's why I try to buy as much food as possible. Next person to talk to. Okay, so we got some Native Americans who came in to trade, mostly wanting to get clothes, so this tells you again that they're looking to trade clothing, not anything else. And the last person to talk to. Yes. Alonzo Delano. That's definitely an 1848 name if I ever heard it. So they're just talking about how nice the landscape is, which I'd imagine it's very nice. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure there's plenty of people with that name in this time. Maybe they descended from this very person. Alright, I'm going to try resting for a little bit more to try to get our health back up. Because that's staying on fair for way too long. So, we're going to do another 5 days. It's only May, so we should be fine. There we go. Back to good. So, let's pop those food rations back down. Because you still use up food even when you're resting. So, we're going to pop that back down to meager again. And let's keep it going. Oh, and we're already heading towards another fort, so... Oh, that's not good. Someone's got measles, so we'll have to see how that goes. Yep, very little water. This is where this is going to start popping up. So we'll take a look around here. Okay. Let's see. I don't really need to buy any supplies. We're pretty good on stuff right now, but we will talk to people again. Might as well, since that's really the only bits of lore, I guess you can call it, you get in this game. A mountain man comes to tell us that, yeah, the mountains are a nightmare if you're traveling in the winter time. You do have to go across the Rockies in this game, and if you're doing it during the winter, it is a total absolute nightmare. It is extremely difficult to get through. Number 2. Okay, here's a member of the Sioux tribe. And we will make sure to leave his buffalo alone. Well, I will. I can't vouch for everybody else, because we all know what happened with that. Oh yeah, you don't want cholera. That's another horrific disease that you could catch back in that time, but not so much now because of vaccines. So yeah, don't just dig and drink whatever water comes out of the ground. Drink river water instead. Don't actually do that. God, what a barbaric, nightmarish time to be alive. Okay, we're gonna rest to see if, yeah. Alright, we're gonna rest to see if Celine can work these measles out on her own. Boy, that fire in the beginning really set me back. We'll do 4 days. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, heading to Independence Rock. Let's go. Yep, I know. Inadequate grass, little water. Oh, well. I guess she didn't work those measles out as well as I thought she did. Okay, give me 1 second. Just 1 moment. Whoop, that's a little too big, but I'll take care of that. Jesus, it's ginormous. Whoop, not that. Where's the... There it is. A little bit smaller. Boop, dead. Okay, well, that sucks. But, let's keep going. Well, we found some fruit that adds some food back, like a couple pounds worth. Let's change our pace a little bit. Let's go to steady pace. Let's do some filling food rations. And we're going to rest again. Okay, we're going to rest for a week. See if that improves everybody else. Well, it's back up to fair. So, do I want to go another? Yeah, let me go another couple days. No, I don't think you can die from resting. Well, let's find out. Because I'm going to rest for 5 more days. I know that's cutting us close, but I'd like for someone to make it there. Okay, we're back up to good. And it's June, so let's see how far we've gotten. Not very far. We are almost halfway, though. Okay, let's go. Come on. Okay, good. There's grass again. Okay, we lost a day for a wrong trail. And here we go. Okay, Independence Rock. Yes. Okay. Let's do our usual thing. Let's talk to people. Hey, Big Louie's back. What does he have to say? So he's laying out basically what the rest of the trail is going to be like. So we should be out of the plains by now. And then once you go across the Rockies, you're pretty much almost there. Okay, some kid comes up to us. And basically, what people do when they get to Independence Rock is they climb up it and carve their name up there. Which, in other versions of the game, you would see names on the rock in the splash picture for it. But for some reason in this version, they're not here. And famous names that we have no clue who they are. Because it's 2022. And last, here's Aunt Rebecca Sims again. We're bitching about the fact that there's no food. Well, I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're pretty much in the middle of nowhere now. We're getting towards the middle of the country. And yeah, if this were a version of the game that was on like a public computer, like the one I had in my elementary school computer lab, you would find graves of people who didn't make it, and you could type stuff on them. Which mostly involved us typing things like that were inappropriate because, we were little kids and it's funny. It's still funny today, but, that's how it is. Okay, let's get a move on. Okay, now we're heading to the South Pass. Okay, health is back up to good. That's what I like to see. Oh, Jack broke his leg. Great. Well, apparently that broken leg affected him more than I thought. That's not great. Now the kid's dead. I get the feeling this trip isn't going to turn out the best. Come on, shrink faster. There we go. Make that a little smaller. He's got a small head. There we go. And that's another one down. Why, them broken legs, they come up on you fast. Okay, well, let's keep going, I guess. Okay, well, we're at South Pass now. Sure, why not? Let's take a look around. Even though I just had to bury my wife and kid. Hey, your kid just died. Let's talk to people. Yeah, that resting doesn't work out too well, apparently. But yeah, they're basically telling you not to push the pace too long. I think that's what I did in the start. I was on the strenuous pace for too long. And that just screwed everything over. Okay. Next person. Oh, a Mormon. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We all know how that worked out. The less said about that, the better. Okay, and here's another Native American. And basically, he's saying that there's so many people moving out west that he's considering to take his people and move east because he feels that all the white men are probably gone. They're not. Don't go. Okay, well, I mean, there's really no point in continue to travel, but we might as well try to make it still. Okay, let's see. Alright. Yeah, the fort's kind of a detour. So we're just going to head to the river and then to the fort that's after that. Because I don't need supplies. I mean, I got two less mouths to feed, I guess. Okay, now that we're here, might as well talk to people again. Where are we at? Alright, we're about halfway, and we've already lost 2 people. This is shaping up to be a good run. Okay, here's another Native American. Yeah. Okay, so he's basically talking about how the white man is cluttering up the area, which, yeah, that's pretty much what we're good at. Big Louie is back. And he's pissing and moaning about the fact that it's $5 to take the ferry, which back then $5 was probably like $100, so I don't blame him. Okay, so he's telling you about the food situation. Since if you go with bare bones for too long, your health suffers for it. But, nah, I should be fine. Might as well keep going. 20.3 feet deep in the middle. Yeah, we're taking a ferry. Yeah, I got $5. Okay, we made it. Okay, let's see what disasters can befall us in 143 miles. And it's starting already. Okay, found more wild fruit. So that adds to our food. A few pounds. Okay, can we make it to the spring so we can rest a bit? Okay, we did. Good. So we'll rest here for a bit. Okay, so there's everybody chilling out in the spring. Okay, let's talk to some people. Okay, so another random kid pops up. And that sounds horrifying, because buffalo chips are basically buffalo shit. So I can't imagine what that smells like. I guess it's better than dying of the cold, though. Okay, here's Miles Hendrick again. Guy saying to take shortcuts, which isn't really an option in this game. Well, I guess I took one by not going to that fort when the path split. Okay, let's talk to the last person. I think this is a new person. Okay, she's about fed up with wagon travel, which, yeah, I don't blame her. Okay, we're gonna rest here for a bit. Rest for a week. See if Larry can beat those measles. Okay, I think he's good. Let's check out the map. Yep, we're getting there. And we're heading to a fort too, so we can buy more food. Okay, now we're getting into this shit again. I'll try to repair it, but that usually doesn't work. Yeah. So, So we used up one of our spare parts, basically. Okay, we're at Fort Hall. Let's take a look around. The big old fort. Okay, let's check our supplies. Okay, we still got all our clothes. Still got all our oxen. Got $176 left. I'll probably buy some food to top us off a little at 1,000. Not as much as I bought last time because that really took a hit on our money situation. So food, I'll buy 100 pounds. That should top us out at 1,000. And let's talk to people. Okay, Miles Hendrick is here. And he's heading towards California, so we're probably never going to see him again. So he wants us to keep in touch with letters. So we'll hear from him in about a month or so. Okay. Now is this the same Aunt Rebecca? Are we familiar with her enough now that we don't have to call her by her last name too? We can just call her Aunt Rebecca now. Okay, so as you can see, we're part of a large group of wagon people. It's not just us. We're part of a wagon train, so half of them are going to split to California now. And last, he's just talking about Fort Hall. Make sure you gotta wash the clothes and give the animals a rest, and this is a good place to do it. But we're gonna soldier on. And the hits just keep on coming. Oh, thanks. Thanks a pant load for the empty wagon. Okay, we lose 4 more days. This is about the part of the game where it's decided that you've played enough and it just starts unloading bullshit on you. Oh, not just inadequate water, bad water. Okay, an ox wanders off. Okay, there's the river. Hopefully we can make it there without any more mishaps. Okay, we made it. Okay, this is where keeping the extra sets of clothing was necessary. Because there's no ferry here, but you can hire and I personally don't care, but I know people prefer to say Native American. Me personally, I don't care, but the parlance today is usually Native American. I'm not going to get upset. This is where you would have to hire a Native American guide, and you would have to trade him some clothes. So this is why bringing extra clothes was important. But let's talk to some people first. So here we got this lunatic running up to us. And with very good reason. The husband insists on crossing himself, and they're probably all going to die Well, see you later, lady. Jeez, lava, antelope. What the hell was this country like back in 1848? So yeah, this is where we're going to run into the main stretch of desert, and the game's just going to start dumping all over us. Okay, let's talk to the last person. Okay, so Big Louie's back. So you, it says you gotta cross. It says you like cross it twice, but not really. You just go through this river once. Okay, so we're gonna continue on. Okay, 1,000 feet across and 6 feet deep in the middle. Yeah, I'm hiring a guide. No. No fording, and I wouldn't even trust caulking the wagon either, with it being 1,000 feet across. Okay, and 3 sets of clothing is all you need. Okay, thank you, Shoshone Guide. Well, shit. Apparently that's not as fail-proof as I thought. But we only lost some food, so luckily nobody died again. And we're heading right towards a fort so we can buy more food. Okay, I don't care, I got 5 more. Ugh, great. Okay, Larry got bitten by a snake. Let's rest. Do 3 days. See if you can sweat the poison out. Now let's do 3 more days. Although we're cutting a little close. It's September already. Okay, 6 days should be enough for him to sweat that poison out. Okay, he broke his leg. He's got a snake bite. Okay, we found fruit. Yeah, now you can see they're starting to ramp up the random stuff that happens during the traveling parts. But we can get more food here. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, 45 cents per pound for food. So let's do another 100 pounds for right now. Do 150. Ooh, cutting it close. I think for the last part of the game, if you don't want to do the Dales part, you need like $15 or something like that. So we're cutting it a little close. Okay, here's Aunt Rebecca again. Yeah, this is basically talking about what I just pointed out. The further you go in the game, the more expensive stuff is. So eventually they start charging you like, I think it comes out to like almost $1 per pound of food or something like that. Okay, I think we talked to this guy once before. And yeah, here were the guys talking about why everybody's going here in the first place. Because the valley has very fertile land to build a farm on. And basically everybody's going there to seek their fortune. And this guy basically tells you something that you can't possibly do in the game. You have to take the wagon no matter what, so I don't know why they bother telling you this when you don't have a choice. I guess he's basically telling you that the mountains suck and a lot of bad shit's gonna happen. Okay, I bought supplies. Let's check the map. That's not the map. But look how close we are. We are almost there. And we still have 3 people. We just might make it. Okay, and here's those blue mountains that everyone was talking about. Okay, I still have... I'm going to try to repair anyway, but I still have spare parts, so we're good. Okay, that's fine. And I guess Johnny broke his other arm. Or he broke the same arm again. I don't know. And right into losing a trail. Here we go. Sure. Okay, and I was able to repair it this time. That's good. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. These are in October already? It might be just hitting into winter by the time I get there. Yep. Let's take a look at them blue mountains. Them blue Kentucky hills of Tennessee. Okay, let's talk to people. So he's still dreaming about his homestead and his future riches. Because basically he's saying if this land looks as good, the other place must be even better. Huh, that's very uplifting and charming to tell us. About your oxen kicking the bucket because of too much dust. Yeah, so basically talking about the other side of the mountains, how much they suck too since you're going down. They basically had to lock the wagon wheels and come down slow to make sure it didn't just, you know, go out of control. Okay, we're going to keep going though. Let's see the map. Do I want to go to the fort? Uh, 266 pounds of food. Nah, let's just go because we're almost at the end. I think we can swing it. I mean, there's only 3 of us now. There they are. Let's take a look around. Yeah. fuck that. I ain't doing that shit. Yeah, forget that. Okay, this is probably our last chance to talk to people, so let's talk to them. So, here's the guy hyping up his toll road, or the toll road that he works at. Which, that's what we're taking. I am not doing the river mini game because it is extremely difficult to control. Basically, you're going down the river, and you have to tap left and right to move the wagon to not hit into anything. But the second you tap in direction, you keep moving in that direction until you tap the opposite direction to stop. Yeah, Pathy, that's exactly what it was like. If you weren't rich enough, you'd have to do the mini game anyway. And like I said, if you tapped the direction button and weren't paying attention, you would drift right into the side, and more than likely you would end up getting everybody killed there. We can talk to more people. Yeah. So basically, this is the last stretch, and even if you take the toll road, the random number generator just starts going haywire and starts dumping everything it can possible to try to kill you before you get there. Yeah, she's talking about what the river is like, and no thank you. Okay, let's take this last leg of our journey. We are taking the Barlow Toll Road. Oh, $8. Okay. So it's not too bad. 100 miles to go and we win the game. Let's see what happens. I want you to pay attention to the next landmark thing. You're going to watch it's very slowly. It's going to stop ticking down as much as it was, and it's going to stretch each mile out for as long as possible. Look at that. The end of the game is right there. Screw your broken leg, Larry. We made it. Fuck you and fuck your broken leg. So, we made it. We have beaten the game. Yeah. Yeah, really. What a great... And Larry's not even a friend. He's just some rando we picked up because we needed 5 people. So, this is how the points break down. Yeah. He's the Larry of the group. Now, it's funny that they give you 50 points for one wagon because it's impossible to not have one wagon, and you can't get any more, not to my knowledge. So I guess that's 50 points you're always going to get. And since we were playing on easy baby mode, there's no points multiplier. So 1,633 points is what I get. But it puts me in with the Oregon top 10. Nope, can't fit my whole name, so Nocturne is fine. Nope. And that's it. That's the Oregon Trail. Well, I made it. Two people. Two out of the, two other people made it, but unfortunately, the two most important people didn't make it. But that's okay. I guess Nocturne will have to, join the dating scene again in 1948, Oregon City. See if he can meet someone else. He'll have quite a story to tell, I'm sure. That's right, 1848. Alright, well, let's see. It's been almost an hour and a half. I think what I'm going to do is take a little break. And then I'll... Do I want to play something else, or do I just want to stop here? Because I didn't really plan on... I know in the thing I put more Symphony of the Night, but... I can do that another day. I think I'll just end the stream here. I mean, I got through the whole thing, so... I was pretty sure that I was probably going to have to play that a few times. So, well, thank you for watching. Whoever watched, thank you. And let's raid somebody. Let's see who's out and about streaming. Let's see who we got. No one that I follow is streaming right now. Let's see who we got. No one that I follow is streaming right now. So I guess I'm just going to find a random person. I guess I'm just going to find a random person. Now I'll just stop because nobody's really playing anything that I'm interested in. So, thanks for watching and have a good night. Now I'll just stop because nobody's really playing anything that I'm interested in. So, thanks for watching and have a good night.